All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys, we did start that pullback that we've been talking about for a few trading sessions now. We knew this was, probably coming considering the look of, SPY over here. And then we also had Mr. VIX sitting down here on the daily RSI near that 34 spot that every time over the last 20 years, except for once, all right, one time where the S&P 500 went up 10% over here within a month, all right, which we knew things weren't looking, like that was going to be the case. Yeah, every single time, guys, you have had the VIX spiking up from this exact spot. What happened? We hit that spot again on Friday, and we started bouncing back. Guys, this is a good thing. We were looking for the pullback on the weekly update. This was the preferred scenario. We were preferring getting a pullback to start off the week. So we then have volatility rising. We then have things, pulling back, reversion to the mean, reverting back to the mean, testing key spots. And then we can have room for further upside. If we did not get what we are seeing right now, if the VIX was to just stay, sliding down like that, we were going to get a slow grind. And as traders, we know the slow grind is no fun. All right. Yes, you can keep making that slow money, but in reality, you're not going to get the clear opportunities. And it does open the door for a rug pull around the corner if you were to continue that slow grind. What happened, guys? We did get the VIX spiking down from, right there at the 34 spot on the daily RSI. All right. Just like what happened right over here when it was tapped. Next day, you bottomed out and you started going up. All right, well, it was same exact thing, okay? You bottomed out on Friday and you started going up the next day, just like what happened over here. And now, guys, I'm just going to say I do think this pullback continues a little bit. We're going to talk about it, guys. We know to be bullish on this pullback. We have nothing but bullish structure going on the major components of the indices, okay? Excluding, some of the chip stocks. They're not looking, the best over there. But as far as the Mag 7 stocks go, the big boys, like I like to call them, they're looking supreme. All right. We knew to be bullish on this pullback. We knew things had strength here. And this pullback is nothing but a buying opportunity. I'm going to point out a bunch of opportunities in this video. We're going to start over here with SPY, guys. We did close out near the lows on the day, but again, we're just getting that reversion to the mean. I was saying we were getting a bit extended. We haven't tested in quite some time over here. And then you had VIX, sitting how it was. It's really no surprise that we're getting that pullback. We were talking about this. We were ready for it. I made sure I commented this, over the past few videos we put out there. I've been, just giving my reminder that, hey, people are going to start saying, I told you so. People are going to start saying the top is in. People are going to start getting really bearish all at once, even though it's just a 1 to 2% pullback we're going to get over here on the indices. And then we're very likely going to continue higher. Guys, we aren't even a percent down, and you are probably already going to be seeing that. In reality, the market just rallied from the low over here, 4%, and you've now given back less than 25% of that most recent move. You are still probably going to be seeing a lot of people come out saying the market is topped. It's very extended, and I am here to remind you that that is not the case. It is very likely that the market has not topped. We have not seen our Santa rally yet, and this is just a pullback before said Santa rally. I'm going to just, we're going to go over the levels here, and then I'm going to point out the major components of the indices, and they're looking nothing but bullish on this pullback, okay? And some of them, they're not even wanting to pull back. You just have the strength over there. So big tech is definitely still set up to rip, in my personal opinion. Let's go over it. All right, we're going to come down to the 15-minute time frame. I am going to point out you got the bullish divergence here on the 15-minute RSI. All right, you got the bounce, first things first, coming from down here all the way up to here, that whole most recent move we just got. You found buyers in the golden pocket to start off the morning, and then you bounced, okay, and you rejected your short-term moving averages, and then you came down to your next support, which was 604.32. All right. We did find buyers off of that. I know we're, in the after hours, we're now down to the low of this, little candlestick we got going on to close out the day. But, as long as you don't open up underneath 603.80, I have a feeling this is going to be bought up, at least for a dead cat bounce here, okay? So, resistance, We're going to be watching 605.20. You have the zone going on here. It was holding before. It's not holding now. But we're watching 605.20. We are watching 606.30, 607.02. Okay. If you just go like that, you will see around 607.02, you're going to have the golden pocket starting up from this most recent move down. So you're going to, from that point, you're going to look for sellers here in the golden pocket. If you can get above 608, that's when you're probably going to just come up to a new high at 609.07 and then finally tap that 610 psychological level. Now, underneath 603.80, that's when things can get hairy. That's when we can take a trip down to 602.47. And then you're going to have that big 617 level, which I know for a fact we called out over here, considering that just like over here, that is your most recent structure. So if you come down, do not be surprised if you find buyers off here. And if you come a little bit lower, guys, you're going to have the golden pocket starting up from this whole, advance we just had. And you have the weekly 9 EMA sitting right there. That is what supported price over here. And as you see, a lot of the times it just reverts back to the mean and then it carries along its way. Okay, I'm not saying that's about to be what happened, but I'm going to point out why I think that is going to be the case. Coming over to QQQ, guys, same thing. We just got a big breakout, pretty extended here. There was really no surprise for us pulling back, considering we were saying this was the ideal scenario. Because of what I mentioned earlier, guys, we wanted volatility to rise. We wanted that thing to give us some room to run over here on the indices. And if things were just going to keep grinding higher, it doesn't give us a lot of room. You don't have room for another leg up or anything like that. Okay. You're just going to have that slow grind. It's no fun. And, contracts, I'm an options trader. I'm sure a lot of you guys trade options. It's not fun in a low volatility environment. Okay. Your contracts aren't having fun. You're not having fun. It's not a fun time. Why? Because, honestly, you're probably just going to be more on edge if the thing just keeps going. You don't have these reversions to the means, because this is what creates, the liquidity, the needed fuel, we'll refer to it as, for that next move up. Okay. But when you have that, you get the sea of doubt, and then you have a new way of buyers willing to push it back up to highs. When you're just grinding higher and everyone's sitting there watching, no one wants to buy it. Okay. So this is why this is healthy. Okay. This is perfectly healthy. On the downside over here, what really stands out to me, 1558 over there. It's a tongue twister over there. You're going to have the daily 9 sitting right above that around 517.15. But same with SPY's 617 level, $600.17. It is the big, most recent structure spot we got going on here. Just like when you retested this, broke out, retested, and you found buyers. Okay. So if we come down here, do not be, expecting to think to sell massively from there. Expect it to get bought up. All right. We're going to come down to the 15-minute time frame. We're going to go over some support and resistance here. All right. Just going to take that off real quick. On the upside, what are you going to be paying attention to? Let's just say this low holds over here and we start heading up tomorrow. We are watching the golden pocket, which is between 524.60 and 525.50. All right. Really, the key resistance here is going to be 525.38. If you start getting above there, you're probably going to start heading up to a new high. And at that point, hey, all right, you had the wall of worry sitting over here. You're probably going to go up towards that 530 psychological level. You have, sellers stepping right in off of the upper trend line over here. This is why we were saying, this is the ideal outcome over here. You get a bunch of people bearish on the market, and then you have that next leg up and people are just watching and they're in awe. Okay. It's a jaw dropping moment. And they're like, oh my gosh, the bearish setup just failed. Guys, when we see rising wedges build out like this, I've seen one, where was it? Right here. All right. When you get setups like this and you see this is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. You get this day right here where you sell down. That's today. Okay. And then within a few trading sessions, you break above it. When you have a bearish setup fail, it becomes a bullish setup, like a very bullish setup. That is the same exact concept as this. This is why this was the ideal scenario. You get a pullback into structure or, test the daily 9 down here, and then you continue to new high. You're going to break above this freaking trend line, and then everyone's watching like, oh my gosh, this thing could go a lot higher, okay? And then, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It ends up going higher. All right. So, resistance, you're really just going to be watching 524.04 and above there, 525.38. If you get above 525.38, you probably take out 526.72 and maybe start heading up to that 530 psychological level. On the downside, you have 521.42 as support. Underneath there, 519.60, 517.15, this gap fill down there. And then you're going to have 515.58, which, like I just mentioned, that is that most recent structure. So if you test that, expect buyers off of that. You do have this inverse head and shoulders pattern, or not inverse head and shoulders. You do have a head and shoulders pattern going on here. That is not the best look. If you gap underneath 521.42 tomorrow, honestly, we're probably going lower. It's the same concept as we're just going to come over to SPY again. If you gap under 603.80, you probably are going to continue. You're going to see this thing burn. And then we wait for the next one to be put in, which could very well be around 617. All right, so that's SPY, that's QQQ. Let's go over to IWM, guys. I think IWM is getting ready. You're consolidating this wedge-like pattern over here. I know you got the false breakout today, but if you look over here, okay, you're still you never got your hourly close over it. You're still just in this wedge pattern. And honestly, guys, I will not be surprised if the bottom, trend line over here holds, and then you end up bouncing back. It's probably going to be moving with the overall market. So we're going to need to see the whole market moving, back up there. But, you have the daily moving averages right around here. Same concepts over here. We're watching the 21 now. 235.57 is going to be the next support we're watching. Underneath 237.73. That is this level over here. Just kind of hanging on for dear life. You closed underneath it today, though. So that's something notable. On the upside, if you can get above 242.39, that's when I think this thing's going to go straight up to 244.98, new all-time high, and then you're probably going to go test that 250 psychological level all the way up here, okay? So that's really what I'm watching over on IWM. I do, think this is a bullish pullback. It's consolidating over here in a, bullish manner here. It's doing one of these things where it's in a controlled manner, and then you're probably going to get an impulsive move up at some point. That's what I'm looking for. Impulsive move, retracement, okay? I'm not going to say this is, slow and, steady wins the race over here. No, it wasn't like that, okay? But you came down to a key spot. We knew to expect buyers. Then you had another impulsive move up to the top, and now you are selling down in that controlled manner. I won't be surprised if you have an impulsive buy right around the corner, and the trigger for that is a break above 242.39, this resistance right here. That's where your 0.786 fib is from here down to here. All right. So that is that. Now, what do we got on DIA, guys? You are doing the same thing we just talked about there. You are pulling back to the most recent, point of structure there. You broke out, okay? And now you're pulling back into that. You are losing the daily 9. It does look like, it's looking pretty ugly over here. We're going to be watching the 20 EMA over here, 21 EMA for support. It aligns with the 443.57 gap fill. I don't trade this guy. I cover this just because it's one of the indices, and maybe you guys trade it. But, honestly, the Dow doesn't really give me too much insight on what I watch. So, I'm not going to give this guy weight over here. Okay? But all in all, VIX is definitely getting that bounce that we've been talking about, probably since over here. We talked about it here when it was hit. Okay, right there, right the day before it started bouncing back there. Then you had your little spike. I think this is probably going to be something similar where you get a little spike and then you sell down to a new low as the market makes a new high. If the market makes a new high and VIX does not make a new low, then you know what? Maybe the top is going to be on that move. Okay, and that is that. We will watch it as we go. But this pullback is nothing to surprise us considering we were prepared for it. We talked about it extensively, and now it's just happening. So don't forget it. All right, now let's talk about the big boys, guys, because I do think these things are set up to rip. Google, first things first, guys. Goog. I really like the setup over here on Goog. All right, you were consolidating around the short-term weekly moving average over here, the 9 and the 21. They're, the EMAs are consolidating themselves. They're not really, expanding or anything like that. A big move is coming. What happens? You break up. Okay. You had this little inverse head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, broke up, retested that, structure over here, retested the short-term weekly moving averages. And now it does look like, the thing wants to move up. Okay. So if you can get above 180.17, you're probably going to have a straight shot up to 183.79. At that point, I'm pretty sure you're just going to start chugging along towards all-time highs. That's what this chart is really suggesting to me. You also kind of have this kind of look to you. Let me just go like this. You got a little cup and handle kind of look to you too. You got a bunch of bullish structure. I don't know what else to say about it. It looks, not so bad. Not so bad at all. You're just, trekking on along. They're stepping up. You can see it on the hourly time frame. I'm liking how Goog is looking over here. If you can break above 180.17 tomorrow or the day after, I think that's when, we really can see some fireworks start up over here on Goog. This is something, that makes me think, hey, the market is probably going to be seeing new highs. We have fuel for NASDAQ to push higher. Microsoft, weekly chart, just got its big breakout over here. If you take out 451, you're probably going to start making your way towards this 468.35 all-time high. And at that point, you have more fuel for NASDAQ to go higher. There you go. It's not looking bad at all. If it does end up pulling back, watch for, reversion to the mean over here. Watch for your test of support. Let's just put the magnet on for that. All right, so you're watching for the test of 438.50. I was kind of hoping we got that. I was looking to take some February calls over here. You get to take February calls over here. You see the move up here. Guess what? You're up around 100%. There you go. Okay, and you can even go as far out as March. It's going to be similar gains over there. Further out, the safer. But what's clear to me is you're just getting this breakout after consolidating for 4 months. It's the same situation as Mr. Apple over here. And this is something that, clearly suggests we have more fuel for the NASDAQ to go higher. This is the biggest boy of them all. I know NVDA kind of is the biggest boy of them all. That's okay, right? You got Apple over here. NVIDIA has been the star of the show, but Apple is returning to its former glory, okay? You just broke out after 4 months of consolidation, 2 weeks, 1 week, and 1 trading session so far. 5 trading sessions, guys. You have spent broken out after consolidating for, see that? 95 trading sessions. This just started. It's going higher. All right. You see these levels right here? This is on the focus list. You didn't get the pullback exactly to the 240.79 level that I was paying attention to. That would have been the ideal entry point right there. But, I really like Feb calls over here. I think Jan 17 calls are going to pay, but just to be safe, I do think this thing's going to be running up to 255, 260 over the coming weeks. And, this is a move that you could be participating. This is the one that has the strength right now. If it pulls back, clear as day buying opportunity. There's no denying it. Okay. You pull back, which, the thing doesn't want to freaking do with the market. I was hoping it would do it, but it's not. Clear as day, guys. This is, going higher after that pullback. You see it, you buy it. No financial advice will be given on this channel, but I do hope you guys are making money off of the things we talk about, the concepts we talk about here on this channel. Okay. Pullback, 9 EMA test. You almost did it today. By tomorrow, this thing's going to be dragged up. You're going to be very close to that. This thing has the momentum right now. So I'm surprised the NASDAQ is, doing what it was doing, considering we have some of these components, looking like they just want to go limit up. Okay. So that was Apple over here. What's the next one, guys? Amazon. We did end up seeing a topping tail today. We saw a shooting star candlestick get put in off of increasing volume. As we can see on the weekly, guys, the pullback, again, buying opportunity. Like, these things suggest they want to go higher. They want to go higher, especially the Apple chart I just showed you guys. This is 5 days of breakout, 5 trading sessions of breakout after 95 trading sessions inside that consolidation range. Yeah. Do you really think it's going to pull back in after 1 week? Probably not. Probably going to get bought up if it pulls back, or it's just going to continue, chugging along there. You got Amazon over here. If it pulls back, watch 215.90. Clear as day. We hit the 220 target that, we put on the board here. You're now well above that. You actually did hit 230. You can see at the high 230.08 over there. That was the next psychological level. That's why we use them here on this channel when we're just searching for all-time highs. There is that. Okay. But, pullback, buying opportunity. You're watching 215.90. That is that. And then, from there, we'd be looking for something like this. There you go. Okay. Meta. Again, like, this is something that makes me think the downside is so limited over here on big tech. It really is. Again, with the consolidation, you've been in the same range, same price consolidation range over here. for 49 trading sessions, a little over 2 months there, 70 days, and you just broke out. You have 5 trading sessions after breaking out of that range. You're probably not just going to get sucked back into it. If you get sucked back into it, you're going decently further into it. You're probably coming all the way down here to 575. But chances are you're going to hold the daily 9 over here, and you're just doing something like this. Okay, you're consolidating. I told you guys to get ready for the slow grind up to 630 and 650. This is kind of what that looks like. I didn't think it would go straight up. I thought once the daily RSI got overbought, just like over here, you'd start getting this grind action. Well, I think it's pretty similar to what we're having right now. If you pull back to 602.95 down to 594.80, that's your breakout zone. Expect buyers on that breakout zone. That's all I have to say over on this, but you can clearly see the weekly breakout. You got the last one. It went on, quite a bit over there after that close. Went up another $30. Okay. Yes, you had a consolidation week right there. I think this is probably going to be that consolidation week. And then maybe we go up another $30. Okay. 650. There you go. Tesla. All right. This was the leader of the pack over here. And, you hit, again, that psychological level, guys. You hit 400. You started selling off from there. Okay. It was actually right there on our 402.67 support. Not support, resistance. You're right there. Okay. You did not go straight up to 414.50, but it's pretty obvious that is what is going to happen after this pullback is done. All right. You consolidated now for 3 weeks. Same concept we just talked about. Okay. 23 days there, 16 trading sessions. That is 3 weeks right there of consolidation within that same price range. It was, getting tighter and tighter along this moving average. And then you exploded. This is day number 3 of a breakout. You pull back. You don't have to buy it. No financial advice on this channel. But it is likely going to get bought up to the new all-time high, above 414.50. I pointed out on Twitter. Weekly chart. Big move. Okay. Coming from the low of this shorter leg over here to the neckline, which is going to be 299.29. $153, guys. Okay. This thing wants to go higher. Like that takes you way up. We'll just go over here. Okay. $150. That's like 450. I'm looking for 450. I have the 465 target right there. I don't know what I was measuring. Coming from right here up to here. Oh, 160. Okay. So I was right. 465 target. That's where I think Tesla's going, guys. I think it could take some time to build out. But, in reality, you pull back. The plan I gave the Discord today was, pull back to, 360 to 380. I think it was 365 to 380. I said, I'm treating that as a buying opportunity. Okay. I ended up cutting most, off this 402.67 level. I saw it rejecting 400. I was like, might as well just lock those in. And then buy Feb calls on the dip. What happened? Okay. We bought them somewhere over here around 380. That's, that was my buy area. Okay. But if you were to really pull all the way back, guys, this is a major buying opportunity. You're retesting where you were just consolidating after 3 days of breaking out. It's very likely to be bought up. This thing's going all-time highs, guys. There's no denying it. Look at the monthly chart. Look at that. Does that not look like, just look at Microsoft. Similar, it's not similar setup at all. But, you could see the strength behind these monthly candles, guys. They want to go higher. All right. And then Google over here, you got these wicks. What happens if you take this out? Well, you probably get a straight shot up here. Like this is fuel for the market to go higher. All right. Let's just look at the chips, guys. Not looking the best today. All right. You're now underneath these daily moving averages. You're just consolidating. You're now open the door. So you can come all the way back down there. We'll see if it happens, but you can't. Okay. Coming over to NVIDIA. All right. You see that arrow? It was either going to be here or it's probably going to be down here. Looks like it wants to be down here. Okay. We'll come over the hourly time frame for this. Notice how you hit oversold territory, just like over there, just like over there. Okay. Over here, you kind of died. All right. But most of the time you end up seeing your bounces come from down here. You'll either bounce right back or you'll base out and then bounce while it sits in oversold territory like that. Or, come on, buddy. Base. Inverse head and shoulders pattern right there. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay. You either build out a range, you build out a double bottom, triple bottom, which is typically a range, Or you build out your inverse head and shoulders, just like over here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. What do we have right here? I'll go double bottom. Okay, so if this thing somehow gaps up above here, you got your breakout from your base. Okay, as it hits oversold territory. That's just how these things work. Okay, and I do hope you guys are learning things as we go. I do try and do my best at explaining what I'm talking about in the best manner that I know how to do. I try and be as detailed as possible here. Okay, but you know, came down here, found buyers right off the morning. You know, like literally right off. You know, open down here, right from our 0.618 fib and 137.46 support. The low of that candle was 137.42. Well, that's 4 cents underneath our level over there. Okay, you combine the 0.618 fib and oversold 1 hour RSI and key support with a bunch of reactions going on. Reaction, 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 bunch of reactions in there. And now you just have another reaction. Okay. You know, this was the other spot I was looking to get, you know, a big bounce at. And if you do not get the big bounce here, that's when, you know, things could get a little scary over here. And you really could be retracing this whole move. And at that point, you know, you take out 135 over here, you're coming down another 5 schmeckles. You're coming down to 129.50. And, you know, at that point, you're probably going to hit 127.67. That's, you know, this little breakout level you got over there. Okay. So that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm paying attention to. And that is NVIDIA. But that's what I'm saying. Chips aren't looking the best over here. Avgo does look like it wants to keep dragging itself up to all-time highs. There's that. Okay. Not going to say too much about it. We talked about Avgo a lot before this move actually took place. Now it's just going to go to 180 or higher. Okay. But that would be all-time highs. Over here on TSM, guys, I do just want to point out the little pattern I'm seeing play out here. Not play out, but form. And then we're probably going to see it play out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just ignore this. We'll just say that. All right, guys. So, you know, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. If it continues to pull back and happens to come all the way down to 193.47, again, buying opportunity. Like a lot of these things are just showing bullish structure, and we know to be bullish on these dips. It's likely going higher. It's like you know, weekly chart suggests it wants to get a new all-time high. Probably going to be how that goes. Arm over here, guys. I saw something I was liking today. You're finding buyers again right off of 137.29. That little stair step action. Stair step. Stair step. Next, for all I know, you could be coming up to this high, okay? You do not want to come down and visit. Sorry, I was just eating a sandwich. I had spicy Chipotle chicken. I was at this deli. I got penne al vodka, spicy Chipotle chicken, and then I had what was called the I Love Lucy. With I haven't put chicken cutlet on it, but it comes with honey roasted turkey. Comes with, you know, what are they called? Something tomatoes, but they're like not normal tomatoes. They're dry roasted tomatoes, I think they're called. You got the mozz. You got, you know, it's on a hero. I haven't put ranch on it. I have them add chicken cutlet, and yeah, you have yourself a nice little meal right there. It's a nice big meal. But yeah, over here on ARM, guys, you want to see it hold this golden pocket. You don't really want it to come all the way back down to 133.65, but that's kind of the line in the sand there. You want to hold right there. Not okay. If you can't hold this support right there at 133.65, you're coming back down here. You're probably going to come down to a new low. That's not a good look. Okay, not a good look. And then also something like that, you know. Don't retest the trend line. And if you retest it, don't break the trend line. There you go. Above 144.54. Next leg up. That's as simple as I can make it. INTC, guys, you're continuing to break it down. We're not really going to talk about this guy. It's probably going to break 20 and then come down to 18.51. MU, all right, guys, you got to get a daily close above the 0.786 fib there. And then from there, you're probably going to test 106.40. And then from there, you have that next little leg up there, up to 109.88. Support, 102.07. And then, you know, just watch the moving averages down here. That's where you're kind of consolidating around. That is pretty much it. But, you know, again, sloppy chart over there. AMD, guys, back to troll status. You've been downgraded once again. AMD is a piece of poop. That's all I have to say about it. It did not hold the trend line test. It did not hold the support. You now have a daily close under it. It could be a false breakdown like over there, but you know, as you see from the support, you went decently lower. That's not something to participate in. So there you go. Watch for the daily RSI to get oversold though. I think it's going a little bit lower. All right, guys. So now I'm just going to give you, you know, a few little trade ideas that I am, you know, at least paying attention to. Rivian, I think I gave you guys this one last week. If I definitely included in the, you know, as a trade idea over on the Discord. My apologies if I let this one slip and forgot to mention it. But yeah, we were watching and playing it for that little leg up to 1472 as the target, and then 1530. That's what I see next. Well, now you hit that 1472 target, okay, and you did have that increasing volume right there. Top watch right now for me. I want to see you get over here. We're gonna set an alert. I already put the alert on. I want to see you get a daily close above this trend line. I think this has the next leg up, which is why, you know, I think IWM is probably going to be catching a bid right around the corner in an impulsive manner. We have some charts that are just set up like this. Okay. SQ right here at the daily 9. That's where you got buyers. You consolidated last time. Found buyers right there. You found buyers right there. That's the last 3 tests that you found buyers. Now you're getting the 4th test recently. But here on the weekly chart, as you can see, all right, real sexy. Okay, real sexy. Just broke out from, you know, 2.5 years of consolidation. This is likely going higher, ladies and gents. If you pull back, it's a buying opportunity. I'll show you the analog chart that we'll be referencing. Okay, same exact setup. Okay, consolidated for the 2.5 years. Pull back. You're right here in this breakout. What we just looked at square on SQ on block. You're right here on this candlestick. You are retesting that breakout zone. And you're probably going to get bought up after that. Okay, so coming back over to square, well, it's called block, but SQ, expect buyers between here and down here at the weekly 9, which also happens to be over here. What we can do, just to make this not as all over the place, is we could just do that. Okay, so we are looking for buyers in between here and here. Okay. Smaller breakout zone, 85.80 to 93.19. You look for buyers step in. All right. I personally like February calls on this one. I know your weekly RSI is overbought. It can stay overbought for a while. All right. Oh, this is the same exact setup. All right. So you broke out right here. You're on this week right here. You're pulling back into where you broke out from right here. And then next week, maybe you get aggressively bought up. You get a 12% move. Maybe it looks something like that and you hit 105. There you go. Okay. I mentioned BIA. I mentioned BA. This was actually the one showing strength for most of the day over here. You swept 160.35 and then pulled back. The point is you are getting buyers stepping in on this thing where they need to. So I'll just keep it on your radar there. Okay. The real move starts when you can get over 171.50. So we will have an alert for 172 there. Baidu, guys, I gave this one to you 2 weeks back down here saying China tickers were, you know, getting ready to at least come back up and test these, you know, weekly moving averages up here, like the 21 up there. What happened? All right, you actually gapped up above it this week. I guess China is stimulating their market again. All right. You know, you got 80, not 80. You have 94.57 here, and above there, you're really just going to be watching for the 0.618 test, which is all the way up at 102. I'm liking how these things are looking. Okay. I know, you know, you sold off. But if they are stimulating this again, you know, this could move. I specifically like Baidu, though. I don't like Baba. Okay. See where you found buyers. Golden pocket. Won't be surprised if you run up to the next one. There you go. All right, guys. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please remember to leave a like. I appreciate your time. If you got anybody in your life who you think would benefit from these videos, feel free to share it. I would genuinely appreciate that. If you're not going to leave a like, you know, you could really help me out and scratch my back if, you know, you were to direct message one of these videos, this video specifically, to someone that you want to, you know, do well in the space. Okay. In this trading space, guys, you know, we all are just trying to, you know, make money in these markets over here. And I try and do my best here to show people how they can do that in a consistent manner using not crap tickers. I cover, you know, select tickers that I know at this point and ones that I know move with the market very well. And I truly believe people, if they just start focusing only on these tickers and not, garbage tickers like AMC and GME and stuff like that. Speaking of GME, it's not looking so bad. But, is there a reason to constantly focus on these things? No, they don't have consistent price action. Okay. They really do not. You can tell me, oh, it looks so good, but it's not consistent price action. It's all over the place. All over the place. A lot of people just, you have these kinds of tickers here, and yeah, they're exploding. I watch these things. I played them in the past, but in the reality, play the things that will keep going with the market. Play the things that actually have setups and have followed through the vast majority of the time on said setups. Okay? These things have paid very well for a very, very, very long time, and they will not stop. So just learn the charts on these things. Learn the behavior. I will show you how to do it here on this channel. I know the behavior at this point, and I will continue learning the behavior, and you can do so with me here on this channel 5 days a week. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of their day, and peace.